Welcome to Part of My Imagination. I'm Imagination and you are the Imaginers. Welcome if this is your first time. My name is Jasmine and welcome back if this is your second or third or however many times you find yourself clicking on my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my November TBR. I do plan on reading about 15 books because your girl is so close to her end goal. It's not funny. Home streak. I'm 119 books. I'm trying to read 150 books. So let's just get into this TBR. Alright, so the first couple of books I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to be talking about books that I don't own, and I'm strictly going to be listening to them on audio. I got all these books checked out at the library, so your girl didn't pay a dime. But yes, the first book is Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. And I was going to read this book anyways because it's Frederick Bachman. And I love Frederick Bachman. He's one of my favorite authors of all time. I'm pretty sure this book is going to get 5 stars. But anyways, this book is pretty much about a crime that never happened. It never took place. There was supposed to be a bank robber who ended up disappearing into thin air. And it is about 8 extremely anxious strangers who find that they have more in common than ever imagined. That's all I want to know. That's all I need to know because, like I said, it's Frederick Bachman, so I'm going to read it. Alright, the next book is The Warlord Wants Forever by Cresley Cole. This book was actually recommended to me by a coworker. Because, like, all my coworkers know that I have a YouTube channel and I love books and I love reading books. So he came up to me one day and was like, oh my god, you have to read this book. I'm falling in love with this series. And I was like, sure, what is it? And this is what it was. But all I know that it has to deal with, like, vampires. And that's pretty much all I know. He didn't really tell me anything about it. He was just like, oh my god, this series is like one of my favorite series. You need to read it. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll read your favorite series. So we going in blind. And you know, I used to love Twilight. So, you know, your girl with the vampires. Moving on. Alright, the next book that I'm going to be reading is The Unkindness of Ghosts by Rivers Solomon. I actually don't know what this book is about, and even reading the, like, synopsis of it, I'm like, huh? But it's pretty much about this girl that gets called really bad names, and she just wishes that she actually was what people called her, so that she could be powerful enough to, like, I don't know. I really don't know, but I just know that I did like The Deep by Rivers Solomon. And I've heard nothing but fabulous things about this book. And it was on my Libby. I seen it. It was ready. And I checked it out. Okay. The next book that I'm going to be reading is Swords of Destiny by the guy that wrote The Witcher. I cannot say his name. Andrzej Sapkowski. This is the second book in the Witcher series. I gave the first one 3 stars, but I know that it's supposed to get better. So I'm going to pick up the second one because, again, it was on Libby and I checked it out. So, yes. Also, I'm going to be reading Beloved by Toni Morrison. And I was supposed to read this in October, but I didn't finish it. I've actually started already, so I'm going to finish it this month. Again, this is another book that I don't really know what it's about. Based off what I read, it's essentially following this woman who used to be in or she wasn't really in slavery, but, like, there's, like, this magical whimsy. I don't know. There's, like, so much going on. There's, like, so many moving elements, and I haven't read enough about it, but I just know that it's following this woman who has had children, and either she has lost her children because they have died, or because they have left and she has one more child left and she's living in this haunted house. And that's kind of like all that I really know that's like solid. So obviously it's by the great and late Toni Morrison. So obviously she is a queen for the Black authors. So you should just check her out anyways. So yeah. The next book I'm going to be reading is The Devil's Thief by Lisa Maxwell. This is the second and last book, I'm positive. It's the only duology. The first book is The Last Musician. I love The Last Musician. If you don't know what The Last Musician is about, It is about a girl who is in this organization, and essentially there is another org that pretty much like stops them from using their powers, and it kills them and stuff like that. So she has to go back in time to wait. Is that what this book is about? Yeah. So essentially, she gets sent back in this old time because she can travel. I don't want to say she can time travel, but she can manipulate time. That's one of her magic skills. She can manipulate time. So she has to go back in time to find this musician, to find this book that will help her in the future to solve this problem with this organization. And I'm ready to pick up this last book. I'm going to be reading Saga Volume 2 and 3 because I didn't get to them last month, so I do plan on getting them to them this month. That is the only way I'm going to be able to finish my yearly goal, is if I start picking up graphic novels. If you don't know what Saga is about, it's essentially about there's more than one race, but it's about two races of planets that are at war with each other. And essentially, they have been enemies for like years and years and years and centuries upon centuries. And the two main characters end up falling in love and having a baby. And it is told in the child's perspective of how she is seeing how these things have played out, even though she was a baby. But yes, that's how it's following it. So it was really interesting. It's very graphic. Very graphic. It's very strange. So be on the lookout for that. There is a TV show for this, I believe. So if you want to just check it out and not read, even though I recommend reading first. Alright, and then the next 3 graphic novels that I'm going to be reading is I Hate Fairyland 2, 3, and 4. And this is by Scotty Young. I forgot to say, Saga is by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. But yes, I'm going to be reading 2, 3, and 4. And oh my god, I Hate Fairyland is absolutely hilarious. It's pretty much about this girl who gets sent to Fairyland, and the only way to get out of Fairyland is to find this key. Well, she ends up spending like 90 goddamn years there, and she is stuck in this child's body. But imagine this grumpy old lady being stuck in a children's body, and she's so vulgar. It's literally hilarious. You should definitely check this out if you haven't already. These are the covers for them. And yeah, that's what I plan on reading. Alright, back into the books. So I do plan on finishing A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. This is the 3rd book in the Darkest Shade of Magic series. I loved where the last one left off. So this series took a plot twist for me because the first one I gave 3 stars, and I was just like, this is like honestly so boring. Can we get somewhere? The second one, I believe I want to say I either gave 4.5 stars or 5 stars. It was so goddamn good. It was so better than the last one. And I loved where it left off. And I'm so excited to pick up this one. I can't wait. If you don't know what A Darkest Shade of Magic is, it's essentially about a man who, what's his name again? I literally forgot his name. Cal. There we go. It's about this man named Cal who essentially can move between different 4 Londons. And essentially there's different worlds all based in London, and he goes through these doors. He is the only person besides one other person that can do this. He's like the last person that has these like strange or like magical powers. And there's a gray London, a red London, a black London, and a white London. And every different London has different characteristics. And that's pretty much what you're following. He runs into a very spunky character who helps him solve this mystery. And that's pretty much all I'm going to tell you. Alright, the next book that I'm going to be listening to and reading along with is Goddess in the Machine by Laura Beth Johnson. All I remember is that there is a girl who was pretty much asleep for 1,000 years or something like that, and then it's following a prince as well. This was kindly sent to me by Penguin Teen. I've already probably featured it already because this was released back in June 2020. I'm just now getting to it just because I've been super behind on arcs that I've been sent. So I just wanted to start picking up some more arcs. So I do plan on reading this. I know this second one is coming out soon-ish. It is coming out. So I planned on picking this one up. Alright, so if you didn't see my video of all the series that I want to read by the end of the year, this is And this is Blue Lily Lily Blue by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the third book in the Raven Boys series. The Raven Boy, or the Raven Cycle, excuse me. I don't know why I keep saying Raven Boys. But essentially, this series is following a group of boys and a girl named Blue. So Blue is in a family of psychics, and since she was pretty much born and got her reading was that if she kissed her one true love, or her first true love, they were going to die. And she is following this group of boys that go to this super private school that is pretty much known for being really rich and really snobby. And the main character of the boys is Gansey. And yeah, he is trying to find this sleeping king. He's trying to awaken this king. It's very whimsical magic. It's not like, wands and witches or even like superpowers or stuff like that. It's very whimsical magic. And I really enjoyed the first one. I enjoyed the second one. And I cannot wait to get to the third one. Alright, and last but surely not least is The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin. I was supposed to finish this book last month, but I didn't. I am actually reading this right now by the time I'm recording this video. So yes, this will probably be the first book that I finish in November. So sneak peek for that. But this is the third book in the Broken Earth series, or trilogy. Why do I say trilogy? Wow. Okay. Trilogy. And it's essentially, the first book is following, or this series is pretty much following, kind of like three different characters. It's following a woman who has this magic to stop the earth from breaking. So every couple of hundreds of years, the earth breaks, and people on the earth have to recolonize themselves. And by breaking, I mean like literally breaking. Like fault lines are shaking, volcanoes are erupting, and there are these people that can help stabilize the earth. And then there are people that train and make them obedient. And that's all I'm going to give you, because my brain's fried. And I don't want to ruin the synopsis of this story. Just know that N.K. Jemisin is a freaking goddess. And I gave every book 5 stars. The first book is, wow, I'm brain farting. What is the first book called? The 5th Season. Wow, imagine. But yeah, the first book is the 5th Season. The second book is The Obelisk Gate. And the last one is obviously The Stone Sky. So I definitely recommend that you check this book out. All right. Those are all the books that I plan on reading for the month of November. I'm super excited to get to a lot of these and to finish out some of these series. But yes, that is all that I have for you guys today. Be sure to check out my description where you will find easy ways to contact me, as well as all the books and videos that I talked about. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if not, just imagine that you didn't come back again. Until next time, keep imagining.